Even if you don't think you have any need for a pistol caliber carbine, you gotta admit everybody enjoys shooting a small, compact, lightweight rifle with little to no recoil, and that is why one of my favorite rifles is the Marlin 1894 357 Magnum lever action. This is one of the only guns that I own purely for fun, and it's the first gun that I'll grab if I'm taking a first-time shooter out to the range. It's a guaranteed crowd pleaser, but it also has a lot of potential as a more practical rifle. The Marlin 1894 is named for the year it was first produced. It's been made in several different calibers over the years, and in the 1970s, the Magnum revolver cartridges were added. Most of the 94s you'll find today are chambered in 357 Magnum and 44 Magnum. When Marlin was bought by the Freedom Group in 2008, the quality of their lever action saw a serious decline. They even stopped making them altogether for a while, so the prices have really gone up on the pre-08 models. A few years ago, I got lucky and picked up this one made in the 1980s for about half of what it would probably cost today. When I first got the rifle, it was in pretty nice shape, but there were a few things I wanted to have done to it, so I sent it off to Lou Bonnets at Grizzly Custom Guns. Lou does some phenomenal work on Marlin lever actions. It took almost a year to get the rifle back, but it was well worth the wait. First, he cut the barrel to about 16.5 inches, and he cut back the magazine tube. Then he threaded the muzzle so I could attach a suppressor, and he installed these XS ghost ring sights. The lever loop has been enlarged, the action has been smoothed out, it's got a lighter trigger, and the whole thing was refinished in a nice matte blue. I put this Burris Fastfire red dot on here and this ammo carrier, and even with all this stuff and the ammo and the sling, it still weighs just 7 pounds, so it's really light and easy for just about anybody to maneuver. Now of course you don't have to get a bunch of custom work done to enjoy a 357 lever action. They're generally really fun rifles to have around even if you keep them stock. But I will say, having this thing threaded for a suppressor might be one of the best ideas that I've ever had. I have an AAC Tirant 9 suppressor that I use with this gun. It was made for 9mm, but it works great with subsonic 38 special ammo. You can't shoot 357 Magnums through this suppressor without damaging it, which is kind of a shame because the rifle tends to be much more accurate with Magnums than with 38s. But for just messing around with the range, it doesn't get much better than this. As fun as this rifle is, it has the potential for some more serious applications. When you compare 357 Magnum from a rifle versus a 4-inch revolver, they might as well be two different calibers altogether. Depending on the load, the rifle barrel will give you an extra 400 to 500 feet per second, even a little bit more for some loads. That elevates 357 out of pistol ballistics territory and up somewhere closer to a rifle caliber. There are a couple of loads out there that even rival 30-30 rifle ballistics. So all that means the Marlin 1894 could be a fairly decent hunting rifle if you understand its limitations. It also wouldn't be bad for self-defense if that's what you had available. It wouldn't be my first choice, but the action can be run really fast. It's just that it tends to bind up fairly easily. It's just not the kind of thing I would want to try to use under stress unless I had gotten in a lot of practice with it first. But for me, this rifle is just for fun, and I think every serious gun owner should have at least one gun that's enjoyable for anybody to shoot, because when you can take your friends and your family members to the range and they have a good time, that is how we win allies for the Second Amendment.